Welcome back, focused learners, to another deep dive on the Explainer. Today, we're tackling what is literally the single most important strategic decision a growing digital agency will ever make. Now, if you're running an agency right now, you already know the absolute thrill of growth. But, you also know the sleepless nights and the serious growing pains that come right along with it. So today, we're going to map out the exact paths you can take to scale your operations profitably, step by step.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right now, this exact dilemma is landing on agency owners' desks everywhere. Do you take on the monumental task of building an internal in-house web development team completely from scratch? Or do you invest in a specialized white-label development partner? It's a huge deal. Get this right and your business scales with way less chaos. But get it wrong and you risk bloated payrolls and deeply unhappy clients.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The agency crossroads. 2. Defining the two models. 3. The head-to-head matchup. 4. Protecting your core focus. And finally, 5. The viral chili solution.
Part 1. The agency crossroads.
Every successful agency eventually hits a very specific and, honestly, often painful breaking point. If you're at this crossroads right now, these symptoms are going to look incredibly familiar. Client demand in your agency is rapidly increasing. Which is great, right? That's the dream. But suddenly web projects are piling up in your pipeline significantly faster than your current capacity can actually handle. You're feeling this immense daily pressure to deliver high-quality websites consistently, but doing so is actively burning through your profit margins. You're stuck trying to scale while balancing high client expectations and your own financial health. It's a really tough spot to be in.
Let's move to Section 2, Defining the Two Models. Before we can solve this bottleneck, we really need objective, crystal-clear definitions of our two paths. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're looking at. On one side, we have white-label development. This is a strategic partnership where an external team of specialists builds websites invisibly, fully under your brand. Your clients see your logo, your name, and your invoice. It's seamless. On the other side, we have in-house development. These are developers on your direct payroll, sitting directly within your organizational structure, working exclusively for you.
Which brings us to Section 3, the head-to-head matchup. We're going to systematically pit these two models against each other across the key business metrics that dictate your agency's survival. Let's start with the metric that matters absolutely most to your bottom line: cost. White labeling transforms your development expenses into a variable cost structure. You just pay per project, so your costs align perfectly with your actual revenue. In-house development, however, that saddles you with a massive fixed cost. You're paying developers salaries, employer taxes, software licenses, and management overhead every single month, even when your pipeline is completely empty and those developers are just sitting idle. Then there's the whole issue of speed. Speed is a massive competitive advantage, but building an in-house team often feels like dragging a heavy anchor. It really does. You have to deal with agonizingly slow developer onboarding and these incredibly long ramp-up periods. And your in-house hires are often generalists forced to juggle way too many different service areas, which completely shatters their focus. Internal reviews become these massive bottlenecks because you probably lack structured QA pipelines. And of course, you suffer unpredictable, wildly frustrating delays the second someone takes a holiday or worse, calls in sick on a Friday right before a major launch. It's bloated and it's slow. Now yes, let's be fair. In-house development absolutely offers stronger direct control and immediate proximity. You can literally walk over to a desk and demand an instant revision. But here's the reality check on that. That level of deep, embedded control is really only financially viable for massive agencies managing extremely high volumes of complex, ongoing retainer clients. If you aren't quite at that enterprise volume yet, you are paying a massive premium for proximity you just don't actually need. Conversely, look at the agility of white label scalability. With a white label partner, you have true elastic capacity. You can take on a sudden, massive surge of new projects instantly without scrambling to hire anyone. You can contract your capacity during the slow months with zero financial consequences, no layoffs, no severed morale. You can suddenly enter highly profitable new verticals, like WooCommerce development, literally overnight. And you can confidently pitch and win complex enterprise projects that are way beyond the current skill set of your internal team. It is fast, it's light, and it is incredibly agile. And let's talk about the actual product you hand over to the client, the website itself. A generalist in-house developer who handles everything from basic plugin updates to IT support rarely achieves true mastery. But a dedicated white label team? They work exclusively on platforms like WordPress all day, every single day.
Through pure repetition and intense focus, these specialists deliver code that consistently crushes Google Core Web Vitals, and they embed pristine SEO architecture into every build as a standard practice. The quality difference is absolutely undeniable.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it sums up the battlefield across cost, scalability, speed, quality, and overhead. The data firmly points toward white labeling as the superior, significantly lower risk choice for agencies at almost every normal stage of growth. Unless you are a massive, high-volume enterprise, the in-house column simply carries way too much risk.
Section 4, protecting your core focus. We've talked about the financial spreadsheets, sure, but now we need to talk about the hidden, often totally ignored costs of team building that just drain the life out of agency founders. I call this the hidden management tax. When you build in-house, your leadership energy is suddenly hijacked. You're forced to manage tedious developer performance reviews. You get dragged into handling technical disputes and HR headaches. You're frantically scrambling to cover for unannounced staff absences. You're constantly trying to maintain internal team morale. All of this is a massive, massive drain that completely pulls you away from what you should be doing, focusing on client growth, strategy, and actually scaling your agency's brand.
So the crucial point is this: outsourcing your web development structurally protects you. It completely removes that daily, exhausting management burden. It allows you, the agency leader, to stay exactly in your zone of genius, focusing purely on the strategy, the growth, and those high-level client relationships that actually drive your business forward.
And that leads us to Section 5, the viral chili solution.
If we've established that the white label model is the ideal vehicle for growth, well, we need to introduce the specialized engine that makes it run flawlessly. And that engine is Viral Chili. They're a specialized partner built from the ground up specifically to provide this exact elastic capacity model. They give agencies the specialist capability, the elite development quality, and the reliable elasticity required to scale aggressively, completely bypassing the crushing weight of in-house overhead.
Let's look at the specific advantages of partnering with them. You immediately get a dedicated team of highly experienced WordPress developers and UX designers. They run comprehensive, rigorous QA testing before a site ever even reaches your desk. Everything they do is 100% invisible and delivered strictly under your agency's brand. They provide true end-to-end support from the first design mockups all the way to post-launch care. And because you can confidently offer this premium full-service web development, partnering with Viral Chili is proven to actively increase your agency's average contract values. That's a huge win.
There's a really powerful realization here for any agency founder listening right now. Stop choosing between growth and quality. With Viral Chili, you get both. Seriously, that is the ultimate relief. You no longer have to compromise the quality of your websites just because you're trying to scale your volume.
Let's move to you and see how this builds, because getting started is remarkably fast. You simply outline your current requirements and project pipeline. Then you choose an engagement model that fits your agency's style, whether that's project-based or on-demand. And you can complete onboarding to submit your very first project in a matter of days. It is entirely frictionless.
Which leaves us with one vital question to wrap up today's explainer. Are you going to keep dragging the heavy anchor of in-house overhead, or are you finally ready to scale confidently without all those hiring risks? If you are tired of being stuck at the crossroads, it is absolutely time to explore what an elite white label partnership with Viral Chili can do for you. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll catch you next time.